You're listening to the Night Demon Network. Go to nightdemon.net/subscriber to unlock more exclusive content.
Welcome to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast. I'm your host, Nesbit, and today we jump back in with Night Demon after playing Poland and heading into Germany and Switzerland as the Outsider Tour continues to roll through Europe. This is Night Demon on the road.
So yeah, travel to
Stuttgart.
Stuttgart.
Yeah.
Down in the black. Okay, Schwarzer Keiler.
Right. Yeah.
Schwarzer Keiler, which is German for black bear, right?
No, black pig.
Black pig.
Black boar.
Black boar.
Boar.
Sorry, bear boar. You know.
Yeah. It was
Okay, this place
show.
was tiny.
Tiny.
Smaller than fucking Osnabrück for sure. Right?
Yeah.
Wow. Another flight of stairs
Big old
downstairs.
Yes.
Sold out. This show sold out months in advance, and I know why, because it's a tiny club. I think
Like,
they
how many
sold
tickets?
way too many tickets, though.
50 people?
No.
way.
Not even?
It was
No.
150, 200.
No, I mean, how many
close to
like
200.
really can you get in there?
75 is packed.
It was
you know.
really bad. Like,
And people don't really leave in between bands or anything. So if you go outside for a smoke or something, good luck trying to,
and it's
walk
like
across.
super small stage in there, and it was like, man, when you're up there, everybody, it's like you're in the audience, you know, everybody's around you in front on the sides.
that was a really good show. I remember crowd wise, but it was so hot.
Yeah, it was hot. Yeah.
It was
Not hot outside. Hot inside, yeah.
Yeah. The lighting board was
Yeah, you
off
were
to
like
the side.
way up in the
I
rafters.
was looking at the side of their faces, and
Yeah, you were like upstairs.
so I couldn't tell what anything actually looked like.
Yeah.
And they had this like weird little DJ Wolf mix box thing with all these like light up buttons.
You were
So it
mixing
was-
from the
it was
back of the
weird.
room, right?
Yeah, weren't
no,
you?
I was mixing in the usual position.
But
But
there's that PA.
It's
was
not
like,
elevated.
No,
That was like a DJ PA,
It was
right?
like a DJ PA,
Like a
really small.
wedding band,
Yeah,
yeah.
really small. I need to work around that, but in the end, it was nice. Like,
But it was a cool venue, and like that's kind of the metal spot. It's like a metal bar that opened up, and the people that own it are really cool. And they made actual hard tickets for people that had like our artwork on it and stuff, and gave us some souvenir tickets at the end, which is cool. You want to play for people that are really there for it, you know.
I remember you telling me to slow down, and I thought I was playing slow, but it was just I was so hot that I lost all concept of like how fast I was playing.
Yeah,
We'll
do
reference
that.
the tape for
Yeah.
that. We'll see. Cue tape, Nisbet.
Hey, fuck you. Fuck you.
that, we went to Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Back to our favorite town, Aarau.
Aarau.
With the quietest decibel limit in all of Europe.
This was surprising because we had like played this venue years ago when we first started in the downstairs, and then we moved up to the big room, and the crowds keep growing for us in the big room, and now we're back in the small room downstairs, and the crowd was like, there was hardly anybody there, right? I mean, what, there was like 60 people there?
Yeah, we played there like less than a year before.
Yeah. But again, it's summertime, whatever. You know,
It was
what
a
I mean?
weekday too, right? It was like a Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Or Tuesday or
the
Wednesday.
people that were there were stoked, you know. But it was weird. There was this. Tell them about the decibel thing. It's hard for me to explain it.
Yeah, it's like this Switzerland show. Like they have some strict rules about decibel limits. They're afraid of that people get deaf, but they're too extreme on that. So they have like a 90 dB limit. Usually, for reference, like usually the shows are between 100 and 110 dBs. So it's a lot. And we need to work around that situation. And it's like the backline is playing always so low that I realize that the band is not enjoying the way they should enjoy to play, because if they are not feeling it, you know.
Yeah.
It's really how like a snare, like Brian's snare, as like a metal, like deep snare. It's supposed to be loud. The snare alone hits the limit.
Without mics.
Without mics.
You know,
Just a snare, like an acoustic snare in the room. It's enough to almost trigger the limit.
And I mean, it's
limiter.
some crazy thing to where it's like, isn't it attached to like the police?
Yeah, it's
like,
attached to the police. If it's more than 10 minutes above the limit, the police go there. And that's first the sound cuts off,
for everybody.
and there's a big fine. Yeah.
And they hand out earplugs when you walk in, so it's like really you're just not hearing much of anything, you know.
Switzerland! How you fucking Swiss metal maniacs doing this Tuesday night? Are you feeling all right? There we fucking go. It's good to be back. Thank you so much. We want to thank our tour mates, Riot City. Give it up. You guys have been fucking great. It's fucking hot. We're fucking out of here. Let's have some beers, all right? Thanks so much. We'll see you next time from Ventura, California. Night Demon! I've got some news for you. You're kinda pretty too, but you don't have what We'll see you very soon. Good night.
That was a pretty uninspiring show. It was still good, but it was a very strange one. Thank God we have these in-ear monitors now, because without those, it was still rough with those.
Do you know what's nice with that venue is like there's some home comforts with it. Like sometimes being on the road in Europe is a wee bit rougher because stuff closes early. They don't have laundry, blah blah blah. Whereas this place, they always like lay on a good bit of catering. There's like a beer draft thing upstairs.
Yeah.
And
Right
there's
City
laundry.
loved that. Yeah.
I remember it was hot that day because rather than use the dryer, we like stuck a rack out the front.
Oh, yeah, right.
In 2022.
In the parking lot,
little,
right?
Like red pants.
The little
and
chonies
stuff.
are out there hanging.
And then like I thought it was a door that no one was going by, and then I realized like, oh, this is like right beside the front door, and I'm like drying all our underwear, like right beside all the punters.
In 2022, we were there, us and Midnight, and it was like way hotter than that.
Yeah.
This place is already hot, but that was one of the hottest things we've ever done out there.
And it's one of those buildings that's a newer place. There's all this high technology, like equipment and everything, but no air conditioning. But the best PA that you can only turn up past like your bedroom volume.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. We went to the hotel after that we had always stayed in before, that they'd put us in, which is it's a pretty nice place, but again, no AC, or there is an AC unit in each of them, but they don't work, or like you need a remote and they don't have it.
They call fan. It's like a fan or like a fan filter or something.
But I've spent one of the worst nights of my life heat-wise in there before. But this time, do you guys remember what happened? There were some signs on the beds or something? Like
welcome
Herr Leatherby.
Frau.
Yeah, it's like welcome Mrs. Mr. Jarvis and Mrs. Malkin or something like that.
Didn't you guys have a funny one or something?
Me and Jiwa, we had a fun one too.
Yeah, I got it here. It was Herr Coau and Herr Joao.
Joao and Coau.
Yeah, they thought we were a couple.
They probably didn't think that they had.
Kokoao.
How could you guys have the same name?
Yeah.
It's got to be Joao.
One
Coau.
alone is like rare enough.
Joao and
two. We
Coau,
got
dude.
two.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the most common name in Portugal, but
That's great.
So that was kind of the end of the club shows for this leg of the tour. We had a quote unquote another travel day after this, because we had to finish up at the Rock Imperium festival in Spain. But we were figuring out during this run like that we kind of screwed up by booking Switzerland and then like the south coast of Spain, right? Like within 2 days apart. So we ended up how do we do this?
Oh, we had to fly.
Yeah, so the plan original was to just drive there. Yeah. You guys would probably like fly or something, and I was supposed to drive the van with the gear. But during the tour we realized, wait a minute, this doesn't really make sense, because that will be like, I don't know, 2,000 kilometers or something like that, probably a little bit under, for one show. A festival, like a big festival, where there's like backline, there's like everything for you, and then drive back to home base in Germany. So altogether, probably 4,000 kilometers for one show.
Which where we ended in Switzerland. I mean, it's like how far,
Yeah, that was even further than,
But you're a lot closer right there, right? That's how we did it, because you had to drive the gear back and then fly to meet us.
Yeah, so what I did...
We already had flights.
Exactly. Yeah, but it wouldn't work out because even if I drove like 24 hours, it would be like really, really, very, almost impossible to do it for no reason. So we had to figure it out. Yeah, we spent a lot of time trying to figure out the best plan to do it. Eventually, I think in the end, me and Joao, we drove.
You took us to the airport in Zurich.
And then we went back to the base in Germany, left the equipment, the van, and we flew from Frankfurt.
So we dropped the gear, and I remember Nicholas took us to the airport like right away.
Yeah, to the secondary Frankfurt airport.
To Frankfurt Hahn or something. Yeah. So we got there like driving nonstop, and I didn't even unpack the van or anything. It was already there waiting for us. And,
we saw months later. It was still packed.
And then he picked us up and he took us to the airport, and we got to the airport, I don't know, 1.5 hours before the flight. Yeah. So if anything happened during that 800 kilometer trip, we wouldn't have made it. Yeah. So we ended up flying to a Spanish island, to a layover.
And then there was like some problems with the flight. We spent much more time that we should be on that island, and we
to Mallorca or something.
Yeah, and we just got to the hotel at like
2 or 3, probably later.
Later, like 3 in the morning.
Then we flew to Levante, and then we had a runner from the festival picking us up, driving another hour to our hotel. Yeah. We were kind of like looking forward to see Judas Priest.
Yeah, we ended up getting there a little bit earlier, but we still had a layover on our flight, and then we saw Priest that night. Well, me and Armand did. Yeah. And you. Sorry, Laura.
This was another double another double header where it was Ungol. Was it the same day?
Yep.
It was the same day. Yeah. But this time, the Ungol show sucked. The Night Demon show fucking ruled.
It was amazing.
It was the best show of the fucking, that whole run, whatever those shows were, like, this made up for it.
Yeah, the crowd was crazy. Like, people trying to
and
go
we were
over
worried
the fence, like,
because when we played with Ungol on the big stage, we're like, man, all right, there's not a lot of people. It's hot. It's during the day.
It was so
main
hot
stage,
and we're like, okay.
And it was right in the sun. Like, if you were part of the stage, I remember it was like a big, deep festival stage. Part of it, there was like a lot of breeze up there and stuff. But I went around the front because it was broad daylight. I wasn't doing lights or anything. I stood in the crowd for a minute, and like, I'm ginger, so I couldn't do it. It was like 10 seconds, I'm back in, and I saw all these people with like bald heads and stuff just going,
the crowd wasn't that big, but if you really think about that festival, there was at least a few thousand people there,
but it's huge.
It's hard to say with those big ones because there's like so many people sitting further back or walking past and all that, so you can't really get a good gauge on who's there.
I did get to use Glenn Hughes' bass camps though.
That was cool.
I talked to his tech and he was cool. So,
when we found out where our stage was though, because Night Demon was on a smaller, side stage thing. We're like, where the fuck is this stage? Because it's not in the main grounds. We're like, it's up by all the food courts and shit. Like, that's great. We're playing the food court, But no, we like ran up there. Did we have to like finish?
Pretty much, guys finished. I packed down, and I don't know, like 2 hours later, we had to call the stage manager, called the runner. So the moment we were done, we just put everything in the shuttle.
Because you had to like go up these stairs and up a little driveway. It wasn't.
Oh yeah, you could not walk with all the gear. So the runner like took us to the second stage, the stage we were supposed to play. And we made it just in time.
Yeah. Remember that was like kind of got it set up, and then we were like, all right, let's see how this is gonna be.
And like the crew, nobody speaks a single word of English, so I speak a little bit of Spanish, and was the only way was try to translating because they were like.
Oh, I remember, especially like the sound guys.
They didn't speak a word.
I was kind of proud of myself for figuring out the light board there without any.
You went early in the day.
I went earlier and just sort of talked to him a tiny bit of English, but then I was like Google Translate, like, where is strobe? Like all these like key phrases, But yeah, I just fucking like felt through it.
Was
on the
true,
board,
like
and it was
lights
okay.
during the day, you know.
So do you know what? Like the stage was deep enough that
But, yeah.
I thought you weren't going to be able to see the lights. You could see the lights, but there was so much wind in there that it kept taking away all the haze.
Yeah.
And if you don't have haze, you don't really see the beam of the light at all. So half the show, it just looked like there were lights on half the stage and not on the other.
There
you
was
know?
a band that played on the main stage after Judas Priest the night before, and there was still a few thousand people watching him. And the promoter told me after our show, he's like, "Man, you guys were amazing. Like, we want you to have you back again." And I was like, "We'll only play at night, so you'll probably never have us back. And we'll play after the headline or whatever." And he's like, "Oh, we could do that." So I was like, "All right, good." It's just like, I don't know. We're not Daydreaming. I keep saying that.
But that show worked out.
It did
Yeah.
work
Rock,
out,
like-
but I think because we were just like tired and like we'd already played with Ungol, and we were just like I feel like we felt like we had something to prove, you know?
Yeah, but the crowd, I remember noticing that people knew our shit right away.
Yeah.
Like, not just the front, you know, like all the way back.
It was kind of a tent, right? So
Yeah,
it was
sort of
like
a tent
condensed
thing.
in one.
We were one of
So
those bands that people wanted to see.
It
So.
was sort of not really a tent. Like the stage was under a tent, and then there was like a tent roof
Yeah.
Just a
like
on
a
it,
shade, like
but
just
not
a shade.
walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
just
wasn't
shade.
totally
Which
closed
do you know
in.
what? I was so glad of for you guys because
Yeah.
it was so hot.
Yeah, it's hot. But yeah, like we did that show there, and after we done playing, the bands that played there were nobody seeing them on that stage.
Well, wait a minute. Let's not forget the key part of that set.
Oh, the wireless microphone.
Ran out into the crowd, right? So we're playing, and I'm looking over at Jarvis, and he's yelling at you for something.
Yeah,
right?
it was yelling at me like, "Get me a wireless mic, wireless mic." Like, what do you mean? What's wrong with your mic?
I have
So-
no idea.
I have-
You have
No, I was
no
like,
idea.
what does he need a wireless
Yeah.
mic for?
Yeah, I am on in-ear, so always like listening to like for something like a bad cable or something. So I remember I saw your channel, like it's nothing wrong with your vocals, like it's all good. Like wireless mic, all right, cool. I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, and then there was a small speaker to the front of house board, and I started hearing the Spanish guys saying wireless microphone
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah,
channel
yeah.
25.
So I ran-
and
I ran-
was, what the fuck? They will be like a guest singer now? I had no idea, but I heard that and I patched the microphone on some.
I'm
spare
surprised.
chair.
Rob Halford.
I'm surprised we made it with the community, with the language barrier thing. But I'm Portuguese, so I can speak a little bit of Spanish. So I ran across the stage because I was on stage right, and the monitor guy was on stage left. So I ran across the stage and said like, I need a wireless mic, and they were like, what do you mean like microfono sin fio, something like that. And we're like, for what? Like just get it. Just tell the guy in front of us where to patch it. All right, they did it. They hand me the mic. I was just ready.
And I think I was telling you while we were playing a song.
While
too,
yeah,
right?
you were just like yelling in
We were
between the song.
Yeah, we were playing Night Demon. So
And then I see Jarvis just run, like down. There's a ramp behind the stage, and he runs. I'm like, oh shit, he's going after the crowd.
But it's a fucking long
It's a long-
way.
it's a
Like
long-
it was
it's a
really
long,
deep. So if you
long
picture like a
way.
deep stage, and then it was that and a half behind, so he had to like sprint
I had to go back
there.
down
It
the
was like
ramp to
half
the
a
back of
football
the
pitch.
stage, then run around the whole kind of building, then through the barricade. I just knew that we go in the crowd a lot during that song, but I just knew during this one, there's no way I'm gonna make it back in time to sing. There's no way, even though that's a long part. But yeah, I just did it, and
You said, follow me.
Yeah.
So I was just like running with both of them, just like, like running.
When did you think of all this shit while we were playing?
I don't
fucking,
know,
like-
dude. I
like-
think, well, obviously I thought of it when we started the song.
I mean,
because-
getting in the crowd, fine, but
just no, when we started the song, because like if I thought of it before, I would have said something.
Yeah.
Even on a previous song, I would have said
To
something.
explain, we had the wireless mic because Joao was holding the microphone for Jarvis while he was playing bass.
Oh,
while
yeah.
in
in the
crowd.
middle of the pit.
In the middle of
yeah.
the pit.
I'm excited to see this tape because it's gonna sound so shitty. Because we had to run so fast and so far up ramps. We were slipping on gravel. I was outdoors and like our playing. It's got to be far from perfect. You know
And
what I
the
mean?
vocal's not going to be in the tape because it wasn't patched.
To our console.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
so
right.
you gotta get
It
in the ambient mic.
Yeah. I'll see what I
If
can
we
do.
have video, maybe it's
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of video of it out there.
But I remember that being super cool, like just that we pulled that off.
Yeah.
Because that was like, oh man, that was a special thing.
And
you
the
know?
Spanish people love that
They
shit.
loved
fucking
it.
loved it.
Yeah.
¡Puta madre! motherfuckers feeling good today? Are you happy to be up the hill here? On the top of the hill? Where real fucking heavy metal lives, on the top of the fucking hill. We appreciate you so much, motherfuckers, for coming out today and checking out Night Demon. Thank you so much. One more song here for you, motherfuckers. Muchas gracias, muchachos. We'll see you again from Ventura, California. Night Demon!
I remember like after the show, I was still with my Night Demon crew shirt, and dude, I kept being, fucking, like all the people like in the, a lot of people in the festival were talking to me like, "Are you from Night Demon? Such a good show, man! Like amazing." Like I don't know, probably 5 or 6 like couples, coming up to me and saying like how they like the show. So it made an impact, I guess.
Yeah,
it's definitely a thing working for these lads, isn't it? That you have to be able to just roll with punches, like. Stuff is going to happen live,
fly,
and you just figure. Like I remember from the light board, like a lot of the time, I'm trying to watch the stage, but also my eyes, especially on a different board, they have to be looking at the board, and you kind of look up and you're like, where the fuck did they go? All right, what's happening? Because they're both gone, and then they're gone for a really long time. You're like, all right, I hear them. I smell them.
And usually they get back on stage like for the last,
usually
like
back,
the last verse or something, and they were there, but the vocals were coming through the PA, and we're like, where are they?
And like because me and J2, like we're at ground level too, so we're only seeing the sea of a pack of heads. So
we try and communicate that stuff. Like we're better at planning stuff out before the shows, but you never know. Sometimes you just,
that's it.
Sometimes you get the idea when you're there. But yeah, that was fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
It kind of like if we would have played the main stage and we would have played at night, I guess none of that stuff would have happened, right?
So,
it was great. It's a great show.
Yeah.
And then
so
just spend the rest of the night hanging around, and we watched Glenn Hughes.
Yeah.
It was a great set.
I watched Praying Mantis.
You watched Praying Mantis? Got to talk to the drummer. He was pretty fucking cool guy.
It was his birthday.
Hilarious, dude. Yeah.
Irish guy, I think.
Yeah. And then so that was the end of that leg of the tour. So basically, the next morning I had to book a van for us because we had to fly out of Valencia, and so it was like a €700 van ride. That's the only thing we could do to get there. So we had to leave at like 3 a.m. something like that, 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And take a 4.5 hour drive. So that's Cirith Ungol dudes, and then the band guys. Laura, you were with us too, right? Because you had a flight out, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then the 2 Joels, you guys stayed the night, flew out a little bit later that night, back home to Portugal.
Yeah.
But we went to the airport. Laura, you went home.
Yeah.
You went back to Ireland, and then me and Brian and Armand and Tim and Rob went to Maryland, or to DC. We flew into DC. Got a rental car that, of course, every rental car place just sucks. You never get the car that you ordered. They didn't have our car. We waited for 2 hours?
Oh, man, yeah. And we were just beat from the travel and all that stuff, 10 hours flight or 8 hours after getting up at, 3 in the morning or whatever.
Taking a 4.5 hour car ride and then flying. Oh, hold on. We flew from Valencia. We had a layover in Lisbon in Portugal. And we were all fucking around like at this restaurant eating and stuff. And like, I don't know, we were just eating and Armand's like, we got time. And then
I'm looking at the screen and it says Baltimore or whatever, right? Or was it DC? Did we fly to
Washington,
DC?
Yeah.
We flew into DC. Yeah, okay, yeah. The gate's right here down the, a couple blocks away or a block away or whatever the airport. And then, I don't know, we're just, hanging out. Tim, who brought it up? And we checked. I was like, we better go. Oh, Rob was like, we should probably get over there and see what's going on. So we walk over the gate and no one's there. And we're like,
This is the right terminal.
There's like the security guard right there. I'm like, where's the flight? He's like, gone. It's left. It's like, what? What are you talking about? There happened to be 2 fucking flights that were like an hour apart, dude.
Going to
the same place.
Yeah. Which is so random.
We just didn't account for that being a thing, and we fucking missed the flight. So the next one was in like 2 hours or something, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, fuck, okay, I get on the phone with the airline, and
we had to go back through security.
Yeah, well, they were like, go downstairs, there's a desk, you got to go to this specific desk. We're like running, again, it's hot.
I remember going through security like 50 times.
Yeah, we had to go back downstairs, and then we get to this security desk or whatever it is, and there's this line, right? Like, it's not moving, dude. There's like families in this line, like trying to do, I don't know what they're trying to do, but rebook stuff, and I mean, we were probably, time is just getting eaten up, and we're like, man, we're not even going to get on this next flight. I don't know. So,
and like, what's it going to cost?
Yeah.
Like, did we just forfeit all of these flights by just not showing up? You know what I mean?
So while we're sitting in line, I'm like, I'm going to call customer service again. The guy was like, all right, yeah, I can rebook you. What was like 10 grand or something, 12,000 euro or something like that to get us on the ticket. I'm like, dude, come on, man. I see there's seats available. Like, just get us on there. He's like, well, if you talk to the desk lady or whatever, or whoever's at the desk, they might be able to help you. So we're like, all right, fine, here we go. So waiting. Finally, we get up to the desk, and like, I don't know what I said or what I did, but she's a nice looking girl behind there, and I just kind of gave her the thing, like, sob story, we're gonna miss my grandma's funeral or whatever, and she fucking rebooked us on the flight with no charge, and like we had like 45 minutes to get back to the inside of the airport, go through security again, like you said, and barely made it. And I think we were only 2 hours later than we would have normally. Yeah, it was just a
couple hours later.
Which is crazy. That's how we missed it in the first place.
So 4.5 hour car ride on no sleep, 2 hours waiting for the plane, then another 2 hours waiting for the other plane, then a flight from Portugal to DC, then 2 hours waiting for the rental car.
And also an hour of like shitting our pants because I'm thinking it's going to cost us 10 grand or something. Or
we're going to miss where we need to be.
And miss the show.
Yeah, so we finally got our car when we got there, and it was like, it was all wet, like they just washed it, like somebody had just dropped it off. They were trying to stall, like waiting for somebody to bring this car back. And then so we get in, we barely fit in with all of our stuff, and we're driving to the hotel's like 45 minutes away or something. And we ended up, of course, we had to go to a Mexican restaurant, We were the only people in there because they're about to close, and they stayed open for like a last order for us. And then Rob had a bunch of margaritas and turned like bright red and like was telling everybody that worked there that we were in a band. And was handing out all these stickers, and then they were looking it up on Spotify and shit, and like, it's just
the usual.
Bananas.
Yeah. Well, the whole reason we were there is to play some.
Yeah, Cirith Ungol was playing the Maryland Doom Fest. So, long-running festival that has a history of every time a headliner goes on, their set gets cut short by the police. and that did happen to us. Yeah.
It did.
Yes.
But leading up to that, we had a nice little, like...
Oh, yeah. Our friend Jesse Turner took us to... He's Capitol Police, so we were there on a Saturday. We had a day off in D.C., and he took us on a tour of... a hidden tour, the back doors of the U.S. Capitol building. So it was pretty awesome. We talked about him before on the podcast, but this is when we got our tour, and there was like hardly anybody there because it was a Saturday. So
we got escorted around like places that nobody gets to go. We got to park in like the secured area, or just the workers. He brought us in, and all the security were like, "Oh, hey, Jesse, this is your band friends." Like, "Yeah, man, right on, come on in." Like, dude, this is crazy, man. Like, we were in like the press room, right? Like, like on the floor of the House of Representatives, just like hanging out in there. Like,
was it there before the Capitol got
No,
stormed?
it was after.
But Jesse made the first arrest on January 6th.
Yeah,
he was the guy. Yep. So
you met him. He's been a couple shows on this run.
So that was a lot of fun.
In Maryland, actually.
Yeah.
Just a couple of days ago.
That was really cool.
But the fest.
Yeah, then we had a day off like near Baltimore or wherever we were. Fredericksburg, or was it Frederick?
Yeah.
Frederick, Maryland? Frederick, Maryland.
Yeah.
Kind of cool little small town. But we had a day off. Didn't we have a day off? No.
Before maybe or after.
Maybe later that day we left the Capitol and stayed there, and I went by myself and had a crab dinner, which was really nice. But the next day we went and played this fest. Cirith Ungol only played, and we got there like there was 1 million bands and 2 stages in this small bar, but it was pretty cool. We had a good time, that's for sure. But nothing
played like
worked.
30 minutes,
Yeah,
right?
nothing worked.
It was really like like somebody's backyard party, you know? Like
The organizer, that's like 4 Ungol songs.
The organizer was super cool. He'd been doing it for years, and it kind of seems like he just like he doesn't care like about the money or whatever. You know, he just kind of has a good time. It's like his annual party, and a lot of the same people go. You know, but
that was funny. I remember like. I was kind of by the bar or something earlier in the night, and this guy kept coming up to me. He's like, "Hey man, where's Jarvis? I got money, man. I gotta pay you guys." I'm like, "Wow, this is interesting. Nobody's ever like wants to pay you before you play, you know?"
Yeah,
it was just this thing. I'm like, "Okay."
He finally found me and handed me a plastic bag of cash, and I was like, I just had to count it in this bar in front of everybody, and then I had to tell him like he was short, you know. And he's like, "Oh, sorry, man," but he gave it to me right away. But it was just it was weird.
Everybody was drunk. It was the last day of the thing, wasn't it? Like we were the last band, last day.
Yeah.
What you actually don't know is when I was over side stage, I went up to the lighting board and I was trying to figure out how to do a blackout.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I was prepared for down below.
We never got there.
No, we never got. I was like, I'm gonna surprise them with the blackout on down below. And then I had it all worked out and everything, and then we didn't get that far. I was like, damn it.
We did it. But it was a fun time. It was cool. Everybody had a good time. And then the next day we just had to hang out all day because we had a late ass flight out of Baltimore. We just hung out at some restaurant for hours. Yeah. Oh, you didn't, right? Yeah,
no, I went home.
Yeah, you went home to Florida.
My flight was super early in the morning.
Ours was super late, so we just hung out in some weird diner and had a bunch of Elvis and baseball stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was like a Elvis themed Mexican
And Rob
restaurant
got drunk and spilled his drink. All over everything. And he got a big old thing of chips and guacamole that was like so huge. But yeah. So that was the end of our trip, which we've been doing a lot this year, is just combining shows with the 2 bands, and like just every day we have a chance to do something. We somehow agree to do it and find a way to do it. I don't know how, you know. It's not very sane, but it's managed to work out this far. So.
And that's where we're going to leave it for this week. Next week, we'll pick it up with more Night Demon on the road. And as always, I'll mention that the live audio from every show we featured on today's episode is available in the subscriber section on nightdemon.net. You check out the webpage to see how you can become a Night Demon subscriber and get access to all of the bonus content up there. There's tons of audio and video from this tour and past tours. Again, that's nightdemon.net for more information. Until next time, this is Nesbitt signing off.
Go harder! The witch hunt has begun for the killing of the dead. As you take the first look below, the angels began to mourn. Your first mistake was even being born. You must face the dark harder. Try to survive the war. Don't harder. Daylight tales are told for the killing of the dead. Piercing you with eyes of blackness, the look of handsome death. The earth grows cold as you take your last breath. You feel the wrath, come harder. Can you survive the horror? Don't harder, fulfilling the prophecy, for the killing of the dead.
Thanks for listening to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast. Head over to nightdemon.net, click on the subscriber tab, and sign up to access exclusive weekly bonus content. If you would like to donate to support the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast, you can do so through PayPal at paypal.me/nightdemonmetal. Additionally, if you have not already done so, please subscribe, like, rate, and review the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts.
All hail, Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast listeners. This is Dusty Squires chiming in to tell you about my brand new signature sticks from the London Drumstick Company. I've dreamt of having my very own drumsticks ever since I was a wee lad, and LDC made that a possibility for me. Founded in 2016 in London, England, the birthplace of heavy metal, the London Drumstick Company has trailblazed a path through the music industry and taken the drummer world by storm. When I met them for the first time, they knew their product was going to withstand the beatings of a Night Demon show. They took the time to work with me on getting everything just right. The balance and weight of my sticks are the same no matter what, and the durability is bar none the best I've ever had. I know my sticks will last through the set night after night. I'm truly honored to work with a company that caters to their players the way LDC does. Their innovation and attention to detail is what separates them from the rest of the stick makers out there. Their custom stick sleeves are unbelievable and really make the entire presentation complete. Wait until you see the design they came up with for me. It blew my mind and was a surprise to say the least. They have all kinds of amazing swag, including hoodies, t-shirts, drummer shorts, drum keys, stick bags, towels, face masks, practice pads, and much, much more. Even if you're not a drummer, you can be a part of Demon history and order my brand new signature sticks direct from their website. How cool is that? And to top it off, the London Drumstick Company are giving an exclusive offer to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast listeners. Go to londondrumsticks.co.uk and receive a 15% store-wide discount using promo code DEMONSTICKS. All capital letters, no spaces, Demon Sticks. DEMONSTICKS. I can't thank everyone there enough for the opportunity to be a part of their family and for them trusting me with their amazing products. See you metal maniacs on the road very soon. And yes, the wood chips will be flying.
Greetings, boils and ghouls. This is your comrade, the Crypt Keeper here, reporting dead from the sanctuary of the strange. Tonight's macabre myth is a fright-filled feature, one overflowing with monsters, madness, and magic.
Visit our website at monstersmadnessandmagic.com to stay up to date on all the dark dealings within the sanctuary of the strange. Enjoy the show.
Hey Metalheads, I'm Mark and I host the Metal Forge. Let me tell you about the show. The Metal Forge features the best underground metal from all over the world. We spend every week with a different artist with interviews, in-depth conversations, and most of all, the music. We also feature audience interactivity where you can submit your questions to the upcoming guests. New episodes are out every Friday at noon Eastern Time at metalforgeradio.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Want to know what's going on in the world of music? Then tune in to the Nothing Shocking Podcast, a non-genre based, all-ages friendly rock and roll program. Join us weekly for interviews with all your favorite rock stars from the mainstream to the underground. You can find us at nothingshocking.libsyn.com or anywhere you download podcasts.
Okay, metalheads, you've been complaining that there has not been a channel
that plays all of the heavy metal videos from past, present, and future for years and years at this point. Well, that time is over. Heavy Metal Television is back. HeavyMetalTelevision.net is the website. Go there. You can see videos playing 24/7, 365, all the time. All the best from the old school, the new school, and everything in between. Check it out, HeavyMetalTelevision.net. It is where the metal is.